Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. I've been hosting Ask the Doctor since April of 1993. I tell you, folks, my math is correct. That's over 30 years. As a matter of fact, recently we got recognized as the longest running syndicated medical talk show in the country. So I'm just tooting my horn a little bit. But this morning, as usual, it is Ask the Doctors. So my co-host is Dr. Susan Somerton, who is the asset at the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. And we always have a great time doing the show together. And she's in the studio with me this morning. Good morning, Dr. Somerton.
Good morning, Dr. Lange, and good morning, listeners out there. I'm happy to be here in Tampa. Drove over from Clearwater this morning. We did that nice drive on the bridge, a little rain, but it's a great time to be in the radio studio here, answering calls and helping you guys out with any information about eyes and nutrition.
And we are coast to coast on the Ask the Doctor radio network. So from California to Florida, all the way up to Pennsylvania, Chicago, everywhere in between. And it's actually good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, just depending on what part of the world you're actually viewing us or listening to us. So we're on a culmination of podcast channels as well as just about all social media venues. And so you can always follow us. A lot of you are following us right on Instagram right now. Dr. Michael Lange _ on Instagram. And I'm trying to build that back. I told you we got hijacked by some Russian broad not too long ago. Well, that was a few years ago. And we had about 350,000 followers and we're building back up. I think we got 250 or 60,000 followers. So help me build back up and then maybe nobody will steal us. So we do have a blue check now, but it's Dr. Michael Lange _ Remember, there is a lot of fake Dr. Michael Lange social medias out there. So the only one is blue check on it, Dr. Michael Lange _ on Instagram. Also, it's a good idea to follow because every now and then I'll do a flash sale on the Fortifeye Vitamins. Sometimes as much as 50% off, but oftentimes it's 30% off or buy one, get one free. And I'll post that on Instagram. And sometimes it's a 24-hour code. So once again, follow me on Dr. Michael Lange _ on Instagram. All right, this is a live call-in show dedicated to you, the listener, the consumer, the viewer. So no matter how simple or complicated your question is, we'll try to answer it to the best of our ability. Give us a call at 813-282-8283. Now, remember, this isn't a toll-free number, but I don't think it costs much to call anymore. I mean, maybe a penny. So I noticed when we dropped the toll-free number during one of the hurricanes, we don't get as many calls from, Arizona, New Mexico, California, Chicago. But come on, guys, give us a call, 813-282-8283. Also, I do want to mention, last weekend we were at the Fit Fest. It's the biggest fit festival in Tampa Bay, and Fortifeye Vitamins was there, the Fortifeye Vitamin team. It was a huge success. Our FitPro was just amazing, smash hit. People were doing all sorts of workouts, CrossFit, powerlifting, weightlifting, bodybuilding, jiu-jitsu, and they were coming to the FitPro booth because we were giving free pre-workouts. And I recall one guy came and he got 4th or 5th place without the FitPro, and this is on our website. And then he came and started doing the FitPro, and he got first consecutively, 3 more first place. So that was pretty intense. And of course, he's a big believer. So FitPro was huge. And remember, FitPro has a culmination of many things. It's Fortifeye FitPro that have been developed and researched to help you build muscle, strength, endurance, help cognitive abilities, and help circulation for anybody at any age. And I just wrote an article yesterday, and it's on the fortifeye.com website. If you go to the blog section, and you can read all about FitPro and read about a new supplement we're creating that's coming out soon that's a combination of Creapure creatine, MyHMB, and vitamin D3. And Dr. Summerton, one of the hottest nutrients out there right now is creatine, isn't it?
It is. We were just talking about that at breakfast this morning, how it's not a bodybuilding supplement anymore. I know years ago, it's like we only used to think I, as a woman, was like, well, I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't need to take that. But we're actually now finding the brain benefits of it. And it's actually supplies energy to your brain. And there's lots of studies, research on if you haven't slept enough, it's a way to keep your brain functioning alert during if you have jet lag or you just had a bad night and you still need good performance the next day, taking creatine is going to build that energy back up into your brain so that you can still think efficiently and get those tasks done that you need to do. And even just for all ages, especially if we're concerned about Alzheimer's, which most of us are, we want our brains to function. We want to live a long time. We want to make sure that we can still live that independent life as we age. And that is a reason to take that creatine is to, again, give that energy to your brain so it can still function at that performance. So you can have that communication, you can have those thoughts, you can have that cognition. So there's many, many benefits to it.
It's also great at reducing depression symptoms.
Mhm.
So depression is a big thing out there. You add a little good omega-3 fish oil, something like Fortifeye Super Omega, and that's kind of a double whammy against fighting depression. So remember, creatine's not only for muscle and bone, it's also for brain. It's for concussion syndrome, for traumatic brain injuries. So almost all football teams, car racers, basketball, boxers are all taking creatine now in case they do have any trauma to the brain. It can help reduce traumatic brain injuries and concussion syndrome. It's also great for your immunity. So it's not just for muscles anymore. We recommend creatine monohydrate, and the best creatine monohydrate, bar none, is called Creapure. And I recommend if you're going to get creatine, look for Creapure creatine. It's German. It's 99.999% pure. All other creatine, I repeat, all other creatine, if it doesn't say Creapure on it, is made in China. There isn't any made in India. There isn't any made in Mexico. Currently, it's all made in China unless it says Creapure creatine. And that's what we use in our Fortifeye FitPro. And we also add whey protein, grass-fed whey protein, grass-fed collagen protein, peak ATP. That's adenosine triphosphate for energy without it being a stimulant. We also add beta anhydrous, L-citrulline, and vitamin D. That's all in our Fortifeye Fit Pro. The newest, best flavor is the strawberry watermelon flavor. So anybody at any age, my Mackenzie was taking it at 9 years of age. So my mom, I was just showing a picture to Susan on the way in. My mom's 97, and she had a drink yesterday sitting out in the sun of the strawberry watermelon Fit Pro. So check out that at fortifeye.com, fortifeye.com, Fortifeye, fortifeye.com. Now remember, we're going to have a economy version of that coming out soon, especially if you're a vegan, because if you're a vegan, you're not going to do Fit Pro because it has, grass-fed collagen and whey in it. But now we have one coming out. It's going to be unflavored, a scoop of Creapure creatine, 5 grams, MyHMB, 3 grams, and vitamin D3, 500 units, all in an unflavored scoop. You can add it to your milk. You can add it to coconut milk. You can add it to the vegan protein, the new Fortifeye Super Vegan Protein, especially the salted caramel mocha. We're going to give you a code for that in a minute. So that's coming out in about 3 weeks. And then, of course, our Fit Meal, which is going to be a meal replacement unlike anything on the market to help with that weight management and help with everybody on a run eating something healthy. Fit Meal is still about 3 months away. We've been running into some difficulty sourcing everything that I want from the proper countries. All right, one more time, you're listening to Ask the Doctor. If you want to set up an appointment to see Dr. Summerton at the Lange Eye Institute or myself, If you're interested in the new IPL treatment by Opti Lift for dry eye, or something we're going to talk about in a minute, the new Opti Lift treatment, or just a routine eye exam, or you have glaucoma and you want a second opinion, come to the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida. I'm going to give you the phone number twice. It's 352-753-4014. That's 352-753-4014. And remember, anything we talk about on this program that's Fortifeye, you can get at the Fortifeye website, fortifeye.com. I'm going to give you the phone number twice for Fortifeye, and they are open today, taking calls until 3 o'clock. And that phone number is 866-503-9746, 866-503-9746. Also, I will be at the Fortifeye Nutrition Center today at 1 o'clock, 1 to 3 for 2 hours. So those of you that are going to travel from wherever, remember, I'll be there from 1 to 3 at the Fortifeye Nutrition Center. And today is August 20. What is today? 23rd, August 23rd. So this is a tape. You'll know that I'm not there if it's a tape, but this is live today. All right. We got a lot to talk about. Before we go to the next call, I just want to give you a little heads up. I was just in New Orleans and went to New Orleans with Mom and met my brother there. Mom had to go through Ochsner Clinic, Ochsner Hospital for her routine medical testing. She did really good at cardiology and did pretty good with primary care physician. All things are good considering she's almost 98. And my brother's having a little trouble with melanoma, so any prayers would be beneficial for my brother. I'm going to head back down there after work on Monday. I'm going to drive all the way to New Orleans. I don't mind driving to New Orleans. You know, I grew up in New Orleans, and so it's a fun town. While we were there, we ate at Sophia's. Sophia is a great Italian restaurant in the Warehouse District. I highly recommend it. Of course, Superior Grill. We had some great food at Superior Grill, and I had to go to Cooter Brown's and get a roast beef po' boy. So I'm amazed I didn't gain any weight. All right. Phone lines are open. You're listening to Ask the Doctors, and it is 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. All right. We're going to go to the first caller of the morning, and it's Steve in Clearwater. Steve, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yes. Do you remember that you just said about 3 minutes ago that creatine was good for preventing or not preventing necessarily, but recovery from concussions?
Right.
Okay. What animal do you think we should study to prevent concussions? What animal?
Woodpecker.
Yes.
Wow. How'd I do that one?
Probably I've told you this before.
No, I'm just thinking they're banging their head, you know?
Right. They're banging their head. Very good.
That was Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. If you do a force analysis, it's the force comes in their beak, and then the force vectors are circulated around the peripheral of the head through the skull, and then they combine, the two waves combine at the back of the head so that they cancel each other out. So he literally has no force in his brain at all. None. And if we could invent a helmet that could do that, and I think they've been trying to do this, that mimic the skull of a woodpecker, we'd have an extremely good helmet. They may have already done this. I'm not sure, because I know this came out a few years ago.
I'm going to start putting some FitPro in a woodpecker feeder at my lake property and see, I'll have some super woodpeckers. Yeah,
there you go. And it is interesting, but I'd be interested to know, and sometime maybe next week, exactly how does it help recovery? I mean, what does it do to the brain cells, or what does it do? You know, what is the mechanism of the protection? And that would be interesting to talk about.
Yeah, that's something we need to research, Dr. Somerton. And we can research that, and we'll talk about it maybe next week.
Well, it's protecting the neurons and supporting the mitochondria and basically help buffering that ATP.
Well, then it would probably
it's all energy.
It might actually protect the whole body then.
Well, yeah, the brain is connected to the body. That's our driver. And if we can get better energy in our brains, we are helping everything.
Well, you know, the part of the thing that's interesting is, you know, we talk about our faces and we want the faces to be nice and we protect them and don't. The skin on the bottom of your feet, think of the abuse it takes. You're walking, let's say you walk a mile. that skin has had 50 or 100-pound impacts on it thousands of times, and yet it stays nice and fresh and pliable. So the ability of tissues to recover after mechanical stress is really, really amazing. That's it. I'm done.
Steve, before you go, Genius Steve, we got a question for you. We're going to see how intelligent you are. This is for everybody out there listening, and it's interesting because I didn't know this until recently. If you're gaining weight and you're getting fat, all right, what is the first body part, I don't care if you're male or female, to get fat? Think about it. Ding.
Well, the fat is momentum around the greater momentum.
Nope. This is easy, isn't it, Dr. Summerton? Let him know what's the first thing to get fat.
Well, Steve, it was kind of a fun trivia we did yesterday in the office, and I actually guessed wrong too.
So did
I thought my process was like you with stomach or maybe the butt, but it's actually the back of the tongue. Now, I never really thought about my tongue gaining weight, but when you think about one of the first signs of gaining weight, people start snoring more. That
Very
is
good.
because of the gaining the weight in the back of the tongue.
And, I asked Tammy, my lovely bride, I've lost 12 pounds over this month. And, I don't think I snore. All right. I'm like the perfect specimen. So I don't snore.
That's because he talks a lot and uses that tongue all the time.
Tammy, this is, about 6 months ago, did a little video of me snoring in the middle of the night. And it wasn't like it wasn't a bad snore. It was a good little snore. But I asked her and she said, last night, Michael, you haven't been snoring lately. And so the 12
lost
pounds
weight in your tongue.
I'm losing weight. I have like a ripped tongue. I'm losing weight in my tongue. And it's helping me breathe better at night. So, Steve, now you got that. Next time you play trivia.
Okay, well, that's really interesting. And I guess you could say that obesity is a lingual problem.
You got
All
it, my friend. Have a good day.
Okay, God bless you.
All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctors. Dr. Susan Summerton and myself, Dr. Michael Lang, both of the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida, and Fortifeye Vitamins. If you have a question regarding your vision, eye care, or a nutritionally related topic, give us a call at 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. Before we talk about OptiLift, I want to give the vegan protein promo code again. I gave it out last week for the first time, and the salted caramel mocha is flying off the shelves. I told everybody my favorite of the vegan proteins that we've developed is the salted caramel mocha. It has equivalent to only a half cup of coffee of caffeine. So it's not bad. Those of you that are a little caffeine sensitive like myself, it doesn't really hype me too much. So we've got a special code because we have too much of the salted caramel mocha. For some reason, we ordered 3 times more than we needed. So I gotta move some of it so it doesn't expire. So what we're doing, if you buy a vegan protein, any vegan protein, the vanilla, the chocolate, or the salted caramel mocha, you're going to use this special code and you're going to get 50% off a vegan caramel mocha super protein. So write this down. The code is vegan caramel 50. Vegan caramel 50. Write it down. Vegan caramel 50. If you don't like it, I'll give you money back. It's as simple as that, or credit it to your account. So vegan caramel 50. Now, what you have to do, you got to buy one of the other vegan proteins. So you can buy the vanilla, the chocolate, or a vegan caramel. Then you get 50% off the salted vegan caramel with the code vegan caramel 50. And, we worked forever on this. This is one of the only vegan proteins that the country of origin for the protein is not China. I repeat, is not China. You can go to Whole Foods. You can go to Amazon. Any one of those that you buy, all right, I would say 99.9% the country of origin of China. And not to knock China, but I just don't want any protein coming out of China. So we sourced our protein all from North America. The barley is from the beer industry, so it is sprouted and fermented, reducing the anti-nutrients. And the pea protein is from Canada. It is also sprouted, reducing anti-nutrients. The combination of barley and pea is a complete protein. Then we added velocitol to it, which is also vegan, amylopectin and chromium. It doubles the amino acid score and gives you amazing energy. So it acts as a really a pre-workout and post-recovery, just our Fortifeye vegan super protein. And the amino acid profile is even higher than whey now. So now, Dr. Summerton, we finally have an option for vegans, because we got a lot of vegans out there that are not going to touch anything that has an animal. So they're not going to touch whey or collagen, but now they have an option.
Right. And vegans need protein just as much as everybody else. And we don't want them to be what we call carbitarians, where they're just carb loading. We want good quality protein so that we can get the benefits too. We don't want to lose muscle mass, and we want to supply it so it's going to absorb. And animal protein, vegetable protein, they do contain all the essential amino acids. It's just different ratios. And so we want to make sure that you're getting that good quality essential amino acids in your body every day.
And I see somebody chiming in on Instagram. Dr. Lang, love the show. Dr. Summerton is awesome. That's what it says. I can see it's not that far away. Thank you. Is the Fortifeye Rejuvenate and the superfood vegan? Question mark. Oh, I'm going to hold that up. Here is the organic blue-green superfood. Yes, it is certified organic, and yes, it is vegan. So the organic blue-green superfood is amazing. Not only does it have 16 different organic fruits and vegetables at therapeutic dosages, enzymes and probiotics, it has beta-glucans for your immunity, and it has peak O2 for energy levels and endurance, which is adaptogenic organic mushrooms. So it is all vegan. The Fortifeye organic blue-green superfood is all vegan. Now, the Rejuvenate really truly isn't vegan. And the reason for that is it has a marine collagen tripeptide, not a peptide, but otherwise it's vegan. Now, there are types of vegans that will eat fish. What is that, a pescatarian?
Vegetarian, pescatarian.
Pescatarian, right. So if you're a pescatarian, you can definitely have Rejuvenate. Rejuvenate, remember, it has a marine collagen tripeptide. It comes from fish that are grown in large aquariums, and the water is reverse osmosis, so it's very pure. That's where the collagen comes from. It's a tripeptide, which absorbs 10 to 100 times faster than a peptide. We were one of the first in the industry to use a marine collagen tripeptide. Great for the skin, hair, nails, and joints. Also, we added German hyaluronic acid for the joints and the skin, rice ceramides for the skin, some amazing studies with the rice ceramides, helping get rid of crepey and rough skin. And then we have Dermavalin here, which is 9 superfoods that have 3 clinical studies showing your body will regenerate elastin and collagen. And finally, we use biotin, liposomal vitamin C called Pure Whey vitamin C, made here in America, and a very mild multivitamin mixture with no beta carotene, all in Rejuvenate. Comes in 3 delicious flavors, and it comes in unflavored. Unflavored is the most popular. So if you want something to help from the inside that helps reduce fine lines and wrinkles and helps with crepey skin and helps your joints and your hair, Fortifeye Rejuvenate. All right, we're getting ready to go to the phones in just a second. If you got a question for Dr. Summerton or myself, Dr. Lang, give us a call at 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. We are going to talk about Opti Lift made by Lumenis here in a minute. I'll just plant the seed. Lumenis makes a device called Opti Lift. We were the first in Florida to get this device. Opti Lift is an amazing piece of technology that helps with lower lid laxity. It reduces dry eye symptoms by as close to 300%. Also has an aesthetic benefit, so helps minimize these bags that are underneath your eyes, and helps people that have lower lid ectropia, and also where the lid is pulling away from the globe. It's something that we do at the Lange Eye Institute. Dr. Summerton has done a lot. I've done a lot. The combination of Dr. Summerton and myself, we've probably done more than anybody in the state of Florida. It's called Opti Lift, exclusively at the Lange Eye Institute. And we're going to expand on that a lot more in a minute, but we're going to go to the phones. We're getting loaded up. So let's go to Margaret in Tampa. Good morning, Margaret. Thanks for holding.
Good morning. This is Margaret in Tampa. What I want to ask the question, I've been hearing that it's bad to eat rice, RICE, because of the arsenic in it. Can you all give me your view of that, please?
Right. So I think everything within moderation. I mean, rice is a relatively good carbohydrate, but a lot of rice is somewhat toxic because it's filled with arsenic. And we've talked about this a few times on this program. And, and being from New Orleans, there's rice in everything. I mean, red beans and rice, gumbo, crawfish etouffee, shrimp creole, everything has white rice in it. But the studies indicate, believe it or not, the white rice is better for you than the brown rice. Remember, back in the day when everybody was on a macrobiotic diet, everybody was eating organic brown rice. Well, the brown rice is much higher in the arsenic than the white rice. It hangs out in that sheath. So when they remove all of that sheath, that coating on the brown rice, it removes some of the arsenic. The best white rice is the sushi grade or the basmati. So sushi grade or basmati white rice has less amount of arsenic. Also, you can reduce it even further if you soak it overnight. Soak it overnight in spring water, not in tap water that has chlorine and fluoride. So soak it overnight in spring water. Halfway through the night, when you get up to go to the bathroom, pour it out, the water, and then soak it in fresh spring water, then pour it out, and then the rice is ready to cook. And then everything in moderation. Dr. Summit, do you want to add to this whole arsenic bit in rice?
It is, but when anything comes from the earth, there is a chance of it having arsenic in it. And so a lot of it is sourcing what soil it comes from. But I do have something else I want to add about rice. And we talked about this in the past with the coconut oil. There's a little hack that you can cook your rice with coconut oil and you let it sit for about 12 hours, refrigerate it. When you reheat it and you eat it that way, it lowers that glycemic index. And basically, it lowers the amount of calories that you're getting from that rice, but it's also giving you the benefits of that coconut oil, which is a medium chain triglyceride, which is actually good for your brain health, your cognitive function, and help with weight management too. So it's a little tip to add that coconut oil when you're cooking it.
So you just put like a tablespoon in the water while you're boiling it?
Yeah, a teaspoon of coconut oil per, I think, about a cup, each cup that you do.
All right. But you might also, Margaret, is think about switching from rice. I mean, rice every now and then is fine. And maybe doing some organic sprouted quinoa or buckwheat or amaranth. These have been shown to be very beneficial. They're gluten-free, and they're an option, a fairly high protein option to rice and pasta. So quinoa, buckwheat, or amaranth, but you have to soak those also because they're also high in phytic acid. So soak them overnight and you're golden.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. We're going to Robert in Gulfport. Robert, good morning.
Good morning.
What can we do for you?
Well, I'm 92. I just took a walk, and I worked over 40 years in casino table games.
Wow.
So I'm a lot lucky to be alive.
I bet you got some stories.
Yeah, well, I've got neuropathy, and they keep calling me to come in. And I say, do you have a cure? They say, no. I said, well, call me when you have a cure. And I have the largest prostate in Florida. And there's something, post-nasal drip I've had for years. And can you help me in any of those three?
Wow, that's a good question. So, these are all relatively common as we mature. My mom's got you beat, though. She's knocking on 98. So congratulations for making it to 92. And chances are you could really make it to 100 or beyond, just depending. At certain times in the ball game, when you get to a certain age, my personal opinion, if you're having a large prostate, try to do it medically, non-surgically at that age. There's certain things you can do to help shrink the prostate naturally. That's a whole nother show, but you can always Google that, natural ways to help shrink the prostate. I think eating some things that help me, I notice if I jump up at night and have to urinate every hour and a half or so, And that's usually BPH, benign prostate hypertrophy, that's causing it usually. And it can be obviously other things like prostate cancer. But if I eat pomegranates, the real pomegranates, okay, so eat a pomegranate, or you can buy those cups of pomegranate that are already seeded. I eat a whole one of those a day, and then I have a cup of tomato paste or tomato sauce. All right. And that's very high in lycopene, and it's been shown to reduce the size of the prostate. So you may want to try that. That's natural. Certainly, I would recommend following your doctor's advice, but it's not going to hurt you to eat some tomato paste or tomato sauce and to eat some pomegranate. As far as neuropathy goes, weight management is crucial for neuropathy, getting down to your ideal body weight, doing some form of exercise to get your heart rate, beating a little bit faster, as long as you don't have some sort of heart problem. Even something called a vibration plate helped my dad prior to, him exiting the planet. My dad was a rheumatologist, so he understood nutrition, and I invested in it, but he wanted a vibration plate. We bought that on Amazon, and he stood on it or sat down and put his legs on it. And that just increases circulation to the extremities, especially down to the toes and the whole body. It's a way of exercising without exercising. My mom, who, like I said, is knocking on 98, I put her on that vibration plate 5 times a week. I'm just not there 7 days a week to get on it. So vibration plate is something to consider. Obviously, eating a diet that's high in omega-3s would be beneficial. So try to eat some wild Alaskan salmon if possible. If not, maybe taking a good omega-3 fish oil like Fortifeye Super Omega once a day, as long as you're not on a blood thinner. If you're on a blood thinner, you want to consult with your doctor about that. And also another piece of the puzzle as we get older is something like curcumin or turmeric, okay? That has anti-inflammatory properties and antioxidant properties, and can help with circulation as well and inflammation. So these are some things that, can be helpful. Certainly not a cure for anything, and does not replace your advice of your physician. Dr. Summerton's biting at the bit, so I'm going to let her chime in.
Well, I think what he's talking about, just the natural things we all know about saw, palmetto, pumpkin seed extract, plants that have the sterols in it, that is good for the urinary flow. And vitamin D are just several things. It's not the cure all, but it's to support. And we want to make you comfortable. We want to make your life, obviously you're living a long life and you want to be staying active. You've probably had a great life, like he said, and just little things adding to it to maximize that activity and your brain health that we talked about with creatine.
Well, you have a great program. I put headphones on my ears when I walk, and Saturday morning I catch you guys, and I'm glued to the radio. These guys do a super service to humanity every time you're on the air. I want to thank you.
Well, thank you for that positive input. And, when she brought up some of those other things, I was just thinking not to just promote Fortifeye FitPro, but remember, Fortifeye FitPro also has L-citrulline in it, which actually increases vasodilation and improves circulation to every part of your body. But remember, it also has the creatine, the whey protein, the collagen protein to help with your strength. And then it has something called peak ATP, which is a non-stimulant way to improve energy. Remember, when we get to a certain age, we don't want to be consuming tons of caffeine because we don't want to trigger atrial fibrillation and then stroke out and die before your time. So consider the FitPro, the strawberry watermelon flavor on the FitPro. And if you do take that and it helps you, I want you to call back and let us know, okay?
Oh, yes, I will do that. And thanks a lot. Have a great day. You guys are the best.
All right, Robert from Gulfport, hang in there, my friend.
Thanks for calling.
I have the prostate guy. He wants to stick something in my vein. He says it's non-surgical.
Right.
And something goes through my vein up to towards my throat and back down to the prostate. And these, when they go into the prostate with it, it'll stop water or blood going into the prostate. And I may try that. the guy that recommended that is a great doctor. I believe in him, but I said, I want you to do something. I'm driving up the highway, and I was raised in Gulfport, Florida. I used to ride my bike everywhere.
Right.
But now you can't. The traffic is terrible.
Sure.
Every morning I turned on Channel 9 and see how many people were killed on the highways. Something has to be done. I don't know what.
Yeah, you
But
got to be careful out there. You got to be careful out there.
God.
And Robert,
the
the
lady directs me, but the last trip I made 4 U-turns. By the time she tells me to turn right, I'm past it. But I'll make friends with her and get it done. Thanks a lot.
All right, Robert. Thanks for the call. You have a great day.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right. Interesting caller. 92 and going strong.
Yeah, and it sounds like he has exercised his whole life. The bike riding, he's still walking. He's put in some effort, and it paid off.
And that's why he's 92. And Betty Ruth, my mom, played tennis all of her life, and I think that's why she's 98. All right, we're getting ready to go to the phones. If you got a question, give us a call at 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. If you're interested in any of the Fortifeye products that we've talked about, the Rejuvenate, the Superfood, the FitPro, go to fortifeye.com. FORTIFEYE. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Jerry in Sarasota. Jerry, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning. I'm a relatively young 89, so
Awesome.
I'm doing okay. But I have pretty advanced macular degeneration, and I've been taking the macular defense. But now I'm looking, and I see there are several other things that address macular degeneration. I'm confused as to which one should I be looking at.
All right. So, Jerry, let me ask you 4 questions, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Are you a vegan?
No, I'm a pescatarian.
All right. So you do eat fish. All right. Good.
Yes.
All right. Do you take a diuretic?
No.
All right. Do you have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease?
No.
Are you a big boozer? Do you drink more than 2 glasses of alcohol a night?
No.
All right, then I would recommend the zinc-free next-gen macular defense, the zinc-free version based on those 4 questions, okay? And how much do you weigh?
190.
I would take 1 with each meal and make sure you eat 3 meals a day. So I would take 3 a day, all right, of the zinc-free next-gen macular defense. We have another vitamin there called Advanced Retina Formula. I think that's more for early macular degeneration, not moderate and not advanced. And that's only an eye vitamin. It isn't a multivitamin. Remember, the next-gen macular defense, we've changed that 17 times in the last 20 years. It has the latest of the latest ingredients. And we'll change it the 18th time probably this next year. So it's constantly evolving based on research that Dr. Summerton and I are always involved in. International and national research. We stay abreast of the changing times. And my promise to our listeners is we'll always bring you the latest in nutrition for the eye and the entire body. Now, remember, this is not a treatment. This is not a cure. This is for nutritional support for your retina. But if you compare it to anything on the market, I don't want to brag, but I am. There isn't really anything like it on the market right now.
Oh, great. Okay. I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a plateau, a place where macular degeneration stops degenerating? I mean, right now, I can't drive. I stopped driving about 6 months ago. But I can navigate, I walk around, and I can't see details.
Right.
But aside from that, I'm okay. But does this ever stop?
Everybody's different. I've seen patients over the last 30 some odd years of practice, some that stabilized and never got worse. By the same token, I've seen people with early dry macular degeneration go to advanced wet macular degeneration. So everybody's different. But remember this, With macular degeneration, even at the worst case scenario, you never go blind from it, okay? You become vision impaired, but you don't lose your traveling vision. You still have great peripheral vision. You can still walk around the shopping center and nobody would even know you're vision impaired. But it'd be hard
Oh,
for you to read and hard for you to see street signs, and obviously want to have legal driving vision. There is a new low vision device that we have at the Lange Eye Institute. We're the first in Florida or the second in Florida to have it. It's called iDaptics. Write that down. iDaptics,
yeah.
EYE, and then Daptics, DAPTICS. And somebody can
Yeah.
come by and have a free demo of it. iDaptics is a low vision device that looks like a pair of Oakley sunglasses. So it's kind of cool looking, and it allows you to read and see in the distance. It also connects to the internet and does all sorts of other crazy things. So when you get to the point where your quality of vision is being sacrificed, and therefore it's causing, quality of life impairment, you might want to consider something like the iDaptics. But in the meantime, keep eating the right foods and taking the right vitamins.
Okay, great. Yeah, I got on their website and I got a questionnaire from them that I have to fill out and send in. And I'm in Sarasota, so it'd be hard for me to get to the villages, but I can somehow work that out, I guess.
Right. You can finagle it somehow. But first ask the iDaptics people if there's any available in the Sarasota area, and then that would be ideal for you. Okay.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Jerry.
And also, Jerry, make sure you get some red light. A nice little free tip, and I'm sure in Sarasota you can enjoy it, is be outside at sunrise and sunset when we have all that natural red light, that infrared coming from the sun without the UV. And it's just a simple, free, enjoyable where you can sit outside, soak in that red light, let it get into your eyes, on your skin, and it's really beneficial to your macula. The macula is the receiver of light. I'm sorry.
Sure.
And it's going to help rejuvenate it. And hopefully our goal is to prevent it from getting worse.
And
Yeah, but I still wear shades if I do that.
shades. Yes, you need to be wearing shades anytime you're outdoors and it's daytime.
Not necessarily the sunrise, sunset time, because there's no UV then.
Right. Yeah, early morning, later evening, you don't have to wear the sunglasses. But anytime, say, after 10 and before 5, you should probably have your sunglasses on.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, Jerry, thanks for the call. And then all of you that are on the carnivore diet, this is one of my pet peeves. Now, I like the carnivore diet. It works at helping you lose weight, but especially if you've had cataract surgery now, and or you have early macular degeneration, I either urge you to eat dark green leafy vegetables, orange bell peppers, and goji berries because of the lutein zeaxanthin, and or take a good supplement like Next Gen Macular Defense or Fortifeye Focus or Fortifeye Focus and Brain. Anything that has carotenoids, lutein zeaxanthin, and even astaxanthin. Because remember, an egg, all of you that are carnivore experts will chime in and tell me, oh, eggs have lutein. One egg only has 0.25 milligrams. You'd need to eat 40 eggs a day to get 10 milligrams of lutein, the amount of lutein that is in one Fortifeye Focus pill. So remember, if you're on a carnivore diet, at least take something like Fortifeye Focus if you're not going to eat the vegetables. All right, we're going to talk, before we go to the next call, we're going to talk a little bit about the OptiLight. I want to mention Lumenis Opti Lift is an amazing piece of technology. And it's a non-invasive device. It uses something called DMS, or dynamic muscle stimulation, and RF, radio frequency, to address lower lid laxity. Those are the people that have these bags under their eyelids and impaired blinking. And it actually tones the facial muscles around the eye. It's a non-surgical solution for a lifted appearance. But not only is it cosmetic, it's functional, isn't it, Dr. Somerton?
It is. And we look at under the microscope and we watch people's lids all day long. And we do see, I see all ages, and we see the difference in age, because just like everything, you lose that laxity of your skin, you're losing that muscle tone. And when you blink, your lids are like these amazing little windshield wipers, and they're meant to coat your eyes with tears. Give it a little squeeze between your top and your bottom lid, At that time, it's supposed to release a little bit of oil from what we call the meibomian glands into your tear film. So if your lids aren't meeting and giving that little squeeze, even if we're improving those meibomian glands, which we can, we want to make sure it's being released. And so the Opti Lift, using that dynamic muscle stimulation, it's like a little workout for the eyelids where it stimulates those muscles, tightens those muscles, uses that radio frequency with that heat to penetrate deep, and that nice side benefit stimulating that collagen production. It just gives that proper mechanics so that you can release that oil, because we want to make sure we're treating all aspects of the dry eye.
Remember, this is non-surgical. It tones and tightens the paraorbital muscles. It's painless. Our esthetician does it. You're in the room anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes having this procedure done. If you do have dry eyes, you got baggy eyelids, you've tried just about anything and everything, consider this. And then if you're doing the OptiLight, which is the IPL treatment, this works well in conjunction. It's a synergy. So OptiLight to help open the meibomian glands by lowering inflammation in the meibomian glands, and then OptiLift improving the integrity of the blink and actually reducing the gunked up stuff that's inside those meibomian glands. The two work very well together. So OptiLight, OptiLift is kind of the double whammy fighting against dry eye. So not only does it give you a lifted appearance, so a rejuvenated look, it's pretty amazing. We did a lady that had Bell's palsy not too long ago, and at 4 treatments, she was 80% better. Her whole side of her face was sagging, a big improvement. Now to take it to the next level, you take the Fortifeye Rejuvenate I'm holding up. That's going to give you all the nutrients necessary to help rebuild collagen and elastin. When you combine that with the Opti Lift, it works really well. And if you really want to take it to the next level, what is that skin cream that we're using now that really works quite well?
Right. We use the OneSkin, which has a peptide in it, and it's studied to actually penetrate. So there's so many. I know as a woman, I'm sure all listeners out there, you have spent hundreds, thousands of dollars on these creams, and it's so frustrating. You spend all this money and it's not working. But we wanted to find something that was clinically studied. And what is kind of interesting, part of the way they studied it, when you get lid surgery, they cut out the extra skin. Well, they were able to use all this extra skin that normally goes to waste and study it and see if it actually penetrates and uses this unique peptide to stimulate more collagen elastin production and actually smooth those fine lines and wrinkles. And it is one of those things, the younger you start using it, the better off you're going to be. But it's just a simple, easy thing to add to your daily routine, to put that little bit of OneSkin eye cream around your eyes. There's also a face cream. There's also a sunscreen. But I love it. I use it every single day.
Yep. And you can get it. We're making it really easy on the Fortifeye website, fortifeye.com. Check out OneSkin. And of course, at the Lange Eye Institute, the Fortifeye Nutrition Center, and the Lange Nutrition Center. Remember, I'm going to be at the Fortifeye Nutrition Center today in Clearwater from 1 to 3. All right. And remember, if you're interested in doing the Opti Lift or the Opti Light, come to the Lange Eye Institute to see Dr. Summerton or myself, Dr. Lang. We got time to talk to Joanne in Venice really quickly. Joanne, good morning. Welcome to the program, and thanks for holding.
Good morning, doctors. Just recently, I had my first cataract removed, and I wondered, and a while back I heard you say that after cataract surgery you should stay away from beta carotene, and is that true, and why is that?
All right, that's a great question. I'm glad you're listening. So beta carotene can block the absorption of xanthophylls in the carotenoid family, things like lutein, zeaxanthin, mesozeaxanthin, and astaxanthin. So I would not overly eat a lot of carrots and sweet potatoes or pumpkins. I mean, you can eat those every now and then, but don't eat them with dark green leafy vegetables, orange bell peppers, eggs, or wild Alaskan salmon. That's why we have no beta carotene in our vitamins at all. Because remember, after cataract surgery, you don't have God's human crystalline lens protecting your retina from blue light damage. So just don't eat a lot of them, okay?
Okay, thanks, doctor.
All right, thanks for the call. Well, Dr. Summerton, that went fast. We got 20 seconds. That was a fast show today, wasn't it?
It did go fast. I'm happy to be here in the studio, and thank you, all your listeners out there. I want to wish you a blessed and healthy day. And again, thank you for listening. We look forward to you every week.
All right. If you're not happy with the eye care, get a second opinion. With that, we're out of here. God bless you.